Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is an actress, television host, motivational speaker, and entrepreneur. She has played some of our most memorable characters in some of our favorite movies like Daddy's Little Girls, ATL, and Jumping the Broom. And her character Angela in Marcus, played by Michael Jai White in Why Did I Get Married, was so memorable that Tyler Perry turned it into a television show. And she's here today to talk about the new season of For Better or Worse, airing this Friday on TBS. Help me welcome Miss Tasha Smith to the show. How you doing, Tasha, and welcome to the show.
Charmaine, what's happening?
You know what's so funny? I had to tell you this. When For Better or For Worse first came on television, it became one of my husband's guilty pleasures, to the point he thought that I was deleting the shows because, I think it was about I'm not sure if it was like 4 episodes that aired, and he kept thinking I was deleting all of them. I'm like, honey, it's just not coming on. So we had to go all through the DVR recordings to make sure nothing was coming on. He fell in love with your show, so I want to let you know. And so when I told him it was coming back on, he was so happy. So, of course, we got the DVR set for Friday. So he can make sure he watches
Friday at 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
Friday at 9 o'clock on TBS.
And your show aired to rave reviews, because you aired with 3.4 million views on TBS, and they loved you so much that they ordered 35 more episodes. How did you feel about that?
I was so excited, honestly, because we had such a great time filming the first season of For Better or Worse. And it's just a pleasure. It's like a great job, And so we were all so excited when they picked it up, and just happy to go back to work and just have fun with the characters. And, it's like so much going on with the scripts that we're waiting. We can't wait for our next scripts come through. You know what I mean? When they deliver our new scripts every week. We just get excited to see how the characters are unfolding and what drama's happening. But now this season is a lot funnier, It's not as much drama as it was the first season. It's a lot more humor. Laugh tracks have been added. So it's more of a comedy than a dramedy.
Now, out of all the couples that was in Why Did I Get Married, why did Tyler choose Angela and Marcus to turn into a television show? Although your character was definitely standout, were you surprised that he chose you two to do a television show?
Honestly, that's a Tyler Perry question. We were just very grateful, honestly, and very excited that he wanted to bring these characters to TV every week, I don't know, but I was excited and very happy that he chose to do that.
Okay, well, now I got to bring Tyler on the show because I got to get him to answer that question for me. So thank you.
That's right, girl.
Because I want to know. Now, I had heard that you and Michael Jai White had dated several years ago. Did Tyler Perry know that when he cast you both in Why Did I Get Married for the chemistry?
No, he didn't. Michael and I are like brothers and sisters now, and he didn't know that, and he just kind of cracked up when he found out. And I think that's why, our chemistry is good because we're cool, I'm very close with his wife. He's close with my husband, Keith, and we're just like brothers and sisters. So we get a chance to have fun with these characters and just go for it. But he had no idea about the past at all.
Isn't that amazing? And didn't even realize how you both would work so well on the screen together. Now, how did you even start working with Tyler Perry? How did you guys come together?
Well, we met through a mutual friend, and he had come to my acting class, and we just became good friends. And, he was working on Daddy's Little Girls at the time, and he was like, oh, my gosh, I got this great part that I think would be perfect for you. And when I read that she was a drug dealer and crazy, I was like, well, wow, do you feel it's so perfect for me? Okay.
Okay.
He was like, is you crazy and from the hood? Okay. He's so crazy, but it was just great. It was great, and he's been a wonderful friend and a great champion for me in my career. So I'm very grateful to God for the opportunity to work with Tyler and to know him,
It's amazing just seeing Tyler. He seems like, and I don't know him personally, of course, a loyal friend because, just what he did for Whitney and what he's doing for your career. He seems like he is truly a loyal friend from what I see just on outside looking in. Is that what you get from him as well?
Absolutely. He's a wonderful friend. He is very loyal, very committed, very honest. He's just a beautiful human being. And when he has your back in your corner, let me tell you something, he has it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he looks out And he is a great person and such a blessing to not just myself or other people that you may have heard of, but I mean many people. He's just always looking to be a blessing and let God use him. That's why he's so blessed.
Mm-hmm. Now, Tasha, what was your reaction when they came to you and said, we want to turn Marcus and Angela into a television show? What was your initial reaction?
I was like, thank you, Jesus, because I had written it down. My husband and I have been standing on Habakkuk 2 and 2, writing the vision down and making it plain.
I know that's right.
Because my husband wrote a book called The Power to Get Wealth, No Money Required. And our whole thing is that our wealth is tied into the vision that God has given us, okay? And so it was just a blessing when he called, because I had been looking for a half-hour comedy show to do, because I just felt like it was time for me to go back to television. So through Tyler, I was just like, wow, thank God.
And for those who have not read her husband's book, that book is so good. Your husband was on the show. I couldn't put that little book down. That book is so full of words.
And a good, quick read, and you know, and it's just a blessing, just real clear, you know. Yeah, it's just great. I mean, it's that book you can put in your back pocket and just take it with you and just keep referring back to what God said, okay?
And that's what I was doing. It was small enough to fit in my purse, so when I was going places and sitting there, I'll pull the book out, read the book. But the thing is, though, it was small, but it's power-packed because you're getting nuggets. So it's not like it's a long read, you know, and then it's going to take a minute to get a nugget here, and then you got to read a couple more chapters and get a nugget. No, every chapter was a nugget, and you were so empowered reading that book. So I want to encourage everybody to get that book. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause that's the purpose of it. Like, he's doing a series of those pocket-sized books, you know, with the purpose of putting them in your pocket, putting them in your suit jacket, putting them in your purse, you know, and being able to take it with you anywhere.
And I'm glad that you both stand on the word, so I was really inspired by that. But, Tasha, I want to talk about a film you did, and I just saw it 2 weeks ago. We rented a movie from Redbox, and it was called Miles from Home. That movie.
Oh, you saw that movie, huh?
Oh, yes, ma'am. That movie was so powerful. That gentleman, I had to go and Google him. Ty Hodges.
Oh, yeah, he's like a little brother. And Megan Good, who is like a little sister to me, she and Ty Hodges produced that movie. Ty directed it. Megan is such a talented young woman. And I tell you, when they came to me, it was like, can you do us a favor? And when I tell you we shot that movie guerrilla style, nobody got a dime. You know, everyone was just, I mean, we just shot it real, like quick and just with hardly no money. But I am so proud of Ty Hodges as a filmmaker, and I'm just so loving the kind of stories that he wants to tell. I adore that young man, and I think everyone should see that movie. I love it.
Now, did Ty Hodges, was he also the actor in that movie? The young man?
Absolutely. Yes,
Girl,
he was. Acted in it and directed it.
Somebody needs to pick him up, because through the whole movie, my husband and I, that young man can act. Now, I've seen some good acting, but that young man, I told you I had to go Google him. I had to find him. Found him on Facebook just to let him know he did an excellent job playing both roles, and the way he played them, different characters, but it was the same guy. I can't even speak enough. I want to see him in something else. So if you know anything else he's been in, please let me know. Excellent actor. Excellent.
I will.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll let him know that I know he appreciates that.
Yes, and of course, Megan, she was hilarious. Just the cutest little girl in that movie. If anybody hasn't seen the movie Miles from Home, she played just an adorable character. The gentleman, Ty Hodges, was just excellent. Of course, Tasha was herself. Girl, you was yourself. Because that was good, girl.
That was crazy.
It was, and it was so funny because I was able to see there was a bedroom scene, you know. Of course, you know the bedroom scene for those who have not seen it. I said, ooh, she about to get him. He don't even know he about to get caught up. So it's a good movie. So everybody make sure they go see it. But you are so versatile, Tasha. Many may not even know, or they do know, that you've hosted your own television show, Tasha Vision. Do you have a desire to go back into hosting television?
Absolutely. You know, I had a little bit of opportunity with My Black is Beautiful, and then I did some work for Woman's Day magazine. And I think eventually I may go back to doing that because I do enjoy it. I love talking to people, you know, and I just connect with people really well, and I just love it. I love it. So I can see that in my future for sure.
And also, too, you are a music producer. You also worked with Holy Boy. You going to produce any more
Yes,
artists?
that's one of my guys. Yeah, working with Darlene McCoy, Holy Boy, and a few other artists. I help co-manage and help produce with my husband, who has a music company, RKB Music and RKB Music Management. And I just love gospel music, and I'm more behind the scenes with it. But yes, I love it. And I want to, my whole thing is to really help empower people to pursue their purpose, whether it's in music, the arts, and just however God can use me on a management level, on a producing level, I just love to be involved. It's a blessing.
Because you have such a heart for people. You could see that. So you're one of those, as they call them, extroverts that you can definitely see, because you also have...
absolutely.
Right. And you pull people to their potential. A young lady was on my show, and she told me she took your acting class. She's going to be in Sparkle next month. She told me she took your acting class, and I'm like, I know it was great. So how did the vision come along for you to even want to start an acting workshop and take it around the country?
I started taking classes with my mentor named Ivana Chubbuck. And Ivana, her technique was so empowering. I mean, it just helped me to open up in such a way as a human being as well as an actor. And Ivana and I had talked about how we really wanted to get it out there more. And Ivana's like, let me teach here, but maybe you can start another class to help it get into the urban community. And then before you know it, people were hitting me up, telling me they want to take my classes, but they were in Chicago or they were in New York or they were in Atlanta. And God, through an acting coach, through a life coach, had basically just spoke in my spirit saying that, why don't you take it to people that can't come to you? Mm. And it was me stepping out on a vision, and before you know it, those T-Saw tours just became very successful. And what's so awesome in it is because there are so many people that live in other cities that whether they can't afford to move to California, New York, or they don't have the courage, for me to go there, give them tools and techniques, help them to open up creatively, and then inspire them to be able to pursue their craft and their career. And I've seen so many miracles happen in T-Saw workshops. And I have more coming up soon. People can go on to tsaw.com, www.tsaw.com. I have a workshop in Atlanta and New York coming up in October and November, and then coming up soon in Texas and some other cities, and they can go on my website and register and find out when I'm coming to a city near them.
That is awesome. And that's good that you're taking it to people, because so many people admire you. They admire your style of acting and just what you really bring. And so to be able to not have to fly all the way to Los Angeles, but to know there's going to be one in a city near them. Now I want to talk to Tasha, the entrepreneur, the woman who loves fragrance and loves smelling good. Let's talk about that new fragrance you got.
I know. You know what, Charmaine? It just goes back to a vision. I mean, a lot of us have many streams of creativity and wealth inside of us, right? But sometimes people try to put limitations on us and make us feel that you can only do this, like with you as a first lady. Like, yeah, you're a first lady, but you can also, be creative. You can also be a businesswoman. Like, we know how to multitask as people, and God has given us many gifts and talents that we have to utilize. And so for me, I'm just a person without limits. I love fragrances. My whole thing was I couldn't find a fragrance that I love, so I figured I'd create one. Okay. And that's where the Us fragrance came from. We're working on a line, of just fragrances and body washes. It's all organic, natural, and I love it. It has that citrusy, lavender, jasmine, vanilla smell to it. It's a mixture of different things, and I just love it. It's fresh, and it's beautiful. And I'm just excited about the fragrance. People can go on to justtasha.com, and they can order the fragrance online. or they can look on the website at justtasha.com, and they can see where it is in a location near them, because it's in many stores and boutiques and beauty supplies and that whole thing, and I'm just excited about that as well.
Because there's so many people getting into the whole fragrance industry. See, I love fragrance. I used to sell fragrances for years. Long time. It was even the fragrance manager for Victoria's Secret. And so when you mentioned fragrance, you got me right there. Because I love smelling good. Looking good, of course, but smelling good. You can't beat a wonderful woman that smells good. And again, we wanted to remind everyone, what is the website again? JustTasha.com to get the fragrance.
Yes. And tsol.com in order to check out the school. And then also, you know, my husband and I have a speaking bureau agency as well. So if people are looking for any speakers, for any conferences or events, they can go on to rkdmusic.com, rkdmusic.com, and click on to SBI, which is our Speakers Bureau Institute. We have many actors, musicians, athletes that are wonderful speakers that can come to your church or your banquet or your school and speak and empower your community. So I'm just excited about life. I'm excited about God. And I'm excited about my TV show coming out this Friday.
Yes, and we want to remind, yes, the time at 9 o'clock, airing on TBS. If you have to DVR it because you're going somewhere Friday night, make sure you DVR it because we want to make sure they still get the credits, you know. So everybody know that you're going to be watching the show. So again, Tasha, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. We want to make sure everybody pick up the fragrance and make sure you go online if you want to be an inspiring actor or actress, or if you know someone who wants to go into television and needs some training in a city near you, go online to make sure that Tasha's going to be in your city. Again, thank you so much, Tasha, for coming on the show. You know, it's always a pleasure having you.
Oh, thank you, Charmaine, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.